Well, I want to say good evening to everyone who's about to tune in to tonight's show. Tonight's show is titled, How Do I Know You to Be a Member? How do I know you to be a member of this great fraternal order of the Eastern Star or Freemasons? How do I know you to be a member? So we're going to get right on in here tonight and then see exactly how do you find out if someone is truly a member of this great fraternal order, because we talk about how big it is, we talk about how beautiful it is, but there are some things that certainly distinguish us as Masons from any other fraternal order, or may I say a gentleman's club or whatever, but it's just something about being a Mason and being a part of the Eastern Star that is definitely different than anything else. And tonight we're going to discuss, how do I know you to be who you say you are, as far as being a Mason, as far as being an Eastern Star. We're just going to have that open discussion tonight. That's the topic for tonight. So you might as well get your coffee, get your juice, get your lemonade, get whatever you're going to get. Get you a stogie, get whatever you have to get right now. Because if you're going to call into this, if you're going to call in to tonight's show, you might as well bring it, because tonight's show is all about, how do you know? I mean, really, how do you know? I mean, of course, people can have multiple symbols on their car, multiple stickers, or whatever. But how do you truly know? And I know most of us have our own way of distinguishing or saying or finding out. But let me tell you this. it's it is not complicated, as far as finding out if a person is legitimately a Mason or an Eastern Star. It's not complicated, because we know that we know that all of our degrees have passes, signs, and different things, and people can get books and read them and find out about them, which is great. But truly, in all of that, the only thing that's going to separate a person who goes and gets a book and read it versus one who's actually a member, an active member, or even one who's a member who's gone a former member, is the mere fact that you have been initiated, raised, and passed. The mere fact that you have walked around the labyrinth of the star is going to separate you from anyone who goes and gets a book. And I'm going to definitely get into that, because there are some things that we must understand as Masons and Eastern Stars, that no matter your jurisdiction, is really and truly all the same. And I'm going to prove that tonight. Like I said before, there may be a dot here, a period there, a comma, maybe a word is missing from here, but in the essence of Freemasonry, it is truly all the same. Whether your jurisdiction is recognized or not, that is a dead horse. I don't want to beat it up no more. However, we're talking about, how do you know that person is truly a member of the order of the Eastern Star? How do you know that they're truly a member of Freemasonry? How do you know? And this is what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to share some things with you tonight in regards to that. And greetings, everybody who's coming on. First of all, I want to say greetings to everyone, to all the brothers of the craft and sisters of the order. I want to say greetings to you, and I'm sharing a lot with you tonight, as far as something personal also. And you may have heard me say this, but I really want you to hear me say it. And it's not to take aim at anybody or any jurisdiction. I'm just going to tell you what I like and why I like it and why I am where I'm at. How do I know you to be a member? How do I know you to be a member? So, one brother asked me, before I go into the show tonight, he asked me, in regards to Freemasonry. We had a discussion on one of the pages in regards to one of the videos. And he said that the best thing I can do is to leave my jurisdiction and join mainstream or Prince Hall, because he felt that I was a good brother. I was well knowledgeable, and he said that would be good if I did that. And I said this, and I want you to hear me clearly. You can play this video over 100,000 times if you choose to. I will never, ever become a member of any Prince Hall Grand Lodge, period. And this is not to throw stones. I just want to have some clarity in regards to that. And if you want to know why, you can call me tonight and ask me why, and I will tell you. So that number is 619-286-0642, and we can have the discussion. I didn't necessarily talk with him because he didn't answer my phone call, but we was going back and forth, and it's John Hanson, or Harrison. Some of you know him by his book that he's written, and he and I talked about coming on the show. He said unless I had it split screen to where he can be seen, that he wouldn't come on the show. So I went and I looked at downloading Google, something about Google, but they was charging $10 a month to have that service. And it's really not that important to me. If you want to debate me, if you want to talk to me about Freemasonry, you can call in, period. Until I get that, until I find that it's going to be necessary for me to have that, I'll get it. But right now, I don't have to have it. I'm not looking to pay $10 a month for something that I don't know how often I'm going to use it, you know. And if you want to debate or have a conversation, I have a line that you can call into. That number is 619-286-0642. So I hope I kind of cleared the air on that. So first of all, I want to welcome everybody who's coming in tonight. Certainly it is a deed and honor to have you aboard, sisters and brothers of the craft and of the order. So we're going to get right into this tonight. So how do I know you to be a member? And that is a question that is asked a little differently in our Masonic rituals and also in the Order of the Eastern Star rituals. Welcome aboard, Brother Terrell Montgomery. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Thank you. So I'm going to share this with you. All of the rituals that I've come across are they're 98% similar. Let me share, I'm just being honest. All of the rituals that I've come across are 98% identical to each other. Some may say right wishful, some may say brother, some may say sisters. The only ritual that I've come across that is similar as far as with the Eastern Star. The Eastern Star has two rituals, and one is about Baal, and I have this one right here. Let me see who this one is by, and I can tell you. I can give you a little bit more information about it. This one, oh, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Hold on just a second. This ritual right here is by Robert McCoy. This is the which version? This is the 1952 revised version, and then it was published again in 1980. And this is the OES ritual right here that I have. And then you have Baal OES ritual. Those two rituals belonging to the Order of the Eastern Star are identical. Those two rituals are identical. What I found in those rituals, what separates them are a few words that are not used in one versus the other. That's it. The work of the Eastern Star in the Robert McCoy ritual versus Baal ritual is identical. Period. Bar none. It's identical. Okay? So if you're a sister of the Order of Eastern Star and you know another sister who may be using the Baal ritual and you're using the Robert McCoy, they're identical rituals. They're truly identical rituals. And in the McCoy ritual carries a key, a study key, which is very useful to a sister who's learning the works. They're very useful. Greeting, Brother Raymond. Welcome aboard. Brother Victor, welcome aboard. Larry, welcome aboard. I appreciate you. Wise man strategy. Can anyone join? Yeah. If you want to be Mason, you can join. It's not saying that you can't join. You have to just, to me, you have to find the right lodge that fits you. And I'm not going to put one jurisdiction over the other. I'm not going to tell you that if you join Ancient, Free, and Accepting Masons, that you're going to get this or that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to put one jurisdiction over the other. I'm just going to say, find you a jurisdiction or a lodge or a brother. Watch him and see how he carries himself. And if you like his character, if you like the way he carries himself, then that may be the lodge for you. That's how I go now. I don't tell anybody to go join a certain lodge or even come to my jurisdiction. I'm saying that if you are looking to join the Masonic order or the Order of the Eastern Star, and you know of an individual who is a member, watch them, watch their character, see what they're all about. Then you make the decision to go ask them to become a member. Okay? Because other than that, people like to put on fronts and shows. They show you the best part of what the organization is all about. They show you the best part of who they're all about. And then all of a sudden, when you get in, you be like, what in the hell did I join? I'm just being honest and blunt. But back to the title of the show tonight is, how do I know you to be a member? How do I know you to be a member? How do I know you to be a member? Well, I'm going to share this with you. This right here is a monitor. This is a monitor. This monitor is from the Grand Lodge of Colorado. Okay? It's a Masonic monitor, Colorado, mainstream. It goes from the inner apprentice to the fellowcraft. And it is identical to the same thing that my Grand Lodge has as far as its ritual. It is identical. It is. The oath, the obligation, as you want to call it, is identical. Okay? What they have in here is some things that we don't do as far as songs that we sing versus songs that they sing. That's a little different. But everything else is freaking identical. I like it. I like what is in here and how it's broken down. Like I said, this is a monitor from Colorado Grand Lodge. Okay? This is their monitor. And it's identical to the ritual for which my jurisdiction used. Except for some of the things they have in here I really like. And, as far as when do they sing their song and, just some of that. But, other than that, it's identical. Now, the ritual that my jurisdiction used is to lest to look to the east. Now, we do have our own ritual, and I'll tell you the ritual that we have is based off lest us look to the east, except for we've added some things in there that we do in our Grand Lodge, and we'll pass that on to our lodges. But for the most part, it's lest to look to the east. I know that most General Grand Masonic Congresses try to be cohesive in their work, and they use the lest to look to the east. That's what they use. In their Eastern Star, it's either going to use Bell or McCoy's 1957 ritual as far as Eastern Star is concerned. But that's what the General Grand Masonic does. It tries to unify the cohesiveness of their lodges, and they use a particular ritual. Now, I'll tell you this. Here's another one I have. And this is from Kansas. This is the monitor from the Grand Lodge of Kansas. Like I said, it is no different than lest to look to the east, except for the a couple of add-ons that they have in here. Really, which is insignificant, it's just the song. See, they have songs in here that they like to sing. We have our song too, but it's just what it is. So I have two mainstream Grand Lodge monitors. One is from Grand Lodge of Colorado, and one is from Kansas. And they're the same as far as lest to look to the east is concerned. Now, I'm going to share. Now, some lodges, when you become a Master Mason, they may give you what I call the cipher, okay? The cipher has its own shorthand, okay? I don't know if you can see it. It has its own shorthand. Once you really break Masonry down, once you're able to get into the ritual and understand and know it, I mean know the ritual word for word, Enter apprentice, fellow craft, master mason. You know the raising. You know it word for word. This right here, you can set it down any way you want to. And when somebody open it up, they won't know what the hell they're looking at. They won't know. I like this. I like the ciphers. Okay? I like it a lot. Now, as I was saying, this is a Lester's. This is what my Grand Lodge use. We have our own ritual. We've added some things in it. But for the most part, we use the Lester's. You know? We use the Leicester. The Leicesters look to the east. Ritual has no signs in it. Has no, it doesn't show you anything. So you can pick it up and read it. It just doesn't show you anything. And this is what we use. A lot of the black, ancient, free, and accepted Grand Lodges use this particular ritual. They do. You know? And like I said, these three right here, they're almost identical. Okay? Don't much change. The Q&A, you know, we have our own Q&A. It doesn't change. So when people run around talking about, you know, this and that, this is what makes Masonry universal. This is what makes the Eastern Star universal here in the United States. It's the fact that it doesn't change. How do I know you to be a Mason? By certain signs, words, perfect points of my interest. Boom, so you break that down. Okay? Once you break that down, you go on to the next Q&A. So when people are putting all of this in perspective and they want to challenge you and they want to say this and that, if they can't get with you with the Q&A, then they need not to get with you at all. They need not to. So if you want to call into tonight's show, that number is 619-286-0642. If you want to feel like you want to call in and have that topic on what is it to be a member, how should I know you to be a member? Because for the most part, and I don't have it with me right now, my Grand Lodge issues Masonic passports. Okay, that's what we have. We have Masonic passports, and we have Masonic dues cards too. But the Masonic passport I like it because what it does is when you are traveling, and I've shared this with you before, you're able to pull that thing out, man, and they stamp it and they put their seal on it saying that you have visited their lodge, you know, and it just shows you the uniqueness of Freemasonry, and that if you are not traveling as a Mason, then you're just spinning your wheels and talking. That's all you're doing is talking. You know, my lodge is this and my chapter is this, or my Grand Lodge is this. But if you're not traveling and enjoying the privilege of being a Mason, you're missing out on a whole lot. A whole lot. You really are. Okay, so this ritual right here belonged to the... This ritual belongs to... This ritual right here belongs to the most wished for harem Atai Grand Lodge of California. Okay, this is their ritual. It's a little different than the Leicesters. You know, they have certain terminology that they use that is not in the Leicesters. Okay, they do, but for the most part, 98% is identical to the Leicesters. There's no signs or passwords in here. There's no signs or passwords in this ritual at all. Okay, at all. All right. So I'm just giving you the breakdown on the differences in the ritual, but yet the cohesiveness of it all. So when somebody comes and tell you, oh, well, my Grand Lodge is different. No, bro, when you step out into Freemasonry, it's the same. It's the same. That's what makes Masonry universal. It is the fact that when you travel, it is the same. The Q&A is the same. There may be a word here, a word there, but the Q&A itself is the same. This is how we identify who we are amongst each other. This is how we do it. And all these rituals don't ask you what jurisdiction you're a part of. Nowhere in there does it say, what jurisdiction are you a part of? It doesn't have it in there. So when brothers want to bring up that fact, or even some sisters, it's not even nowhere in there. It's not. The ritual is geared towards the unification of an understanding between two individuals who meet as Masons. and Eastern stars. That's the basis of the ritual, is to identify who you are among strangers. It doesn't ask, well, what jurisdiction you come from. It doesn't say that. But what it does say, from which you come. And you know the rest. If you are a Mason who has been initiated, passed, and raised, you may even have a book. You know what it says. Huh? You know exactly what it says. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. What I'm trying to say to those of us who have been initiated into the rites, and wish to receive the rites of the Wishful Lodge, which is erected to God and dedicated. This is what brings us together. All the other stuff is really BS and nonsense. True Masonry does this. If you're having a discussion with any brother or any sister, and they begin to bring in their jurisdiction, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I walk away. Hear me clearly. I'm having a topic or a conversation with a brother or even a sister, and you want to put your jurisdiction over other jurisdictions or over something. No, I'm good. I'm good. You can have that. It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you have a great day. God bless you. We gonna keep it moving. I'm not putting your jurisdiction or any jurisdiction over another, because we're gonna meet on what, and we're gonna act in part how. That's what it is. And if you can't grasp that as a Mason, and if you can't assist your sister as she walks through the labyrinth of life and understand what it is all about, then you have totally blown it. Now, let me move on. This is a Duncan's. Some of you may have this Duncan. There's quite a few Duncans out there. There's Revives Duncan. There's a Duncan number 2 Duncan. This was my first Masonic ritual. Besides my Lester, this was my first Masonic ritual, and I like it a lot. It has a lot of good information in here, and I know most of you do not read the footnotes in Duncan's, but I'll tell you what. If you're a Mason and you read the footnotes in your Duncan's, it may cause you to do some serious thinking. If you're a Mason and you have a Duncan's and you're reading the footnotes, it may cause you to do some thinking. That's all I'm saying. Because really and truly, I believe that Duncan lays out a hell of a format as far as Freemasonry is concerned. So good evening to everybody that's coming along. Once again, tonight's show is about how do I know you to be a member. We're just getting into some of the rituals, and are they similar? How much are they similar? What's the difference in the rituals? How do this concept of Freemasonry unify and brings together everybody? So this is what we're getting into tonight. So definitely welcome aboard. And I just want to say how much I appreciate you tuning in. So pass it along. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's get this thing cracking. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, Malcolm Prophet, you said, greeting brothers. I'm entering priest. Next week, I'm going to my temple after my teachings. Tomorrow, LDS is my church, my temple. Okay, so you're looking to become a priest, huh? Yeah, all right. Well, do the thing then. Do the thing. Greetings to everyone who's coming on. Greetings, Brother Michael Foster. Glad to have you on. Brother Pablo, glad to have you on. Brother Howard, glad to have you on. Brother Lewis, glad to have you on. Which come you? Yeah, for real. Brothers got to understand, that's the unification of Masonry right there. We have always used Duncan in our jurisdiction, but we use Lester's because of our Masonic Congress. There you go. There you go right there. Brother Larry broke that thing down right there. Lester's look to the east. Oh, for sure. The only one I personally don't carry or don't care for is Richardson. Well, tell me why, brother. Tell me why you don't care for Richardson. Richardson is, I mean, come on. Good evening, everybody. Brother Howard, how you doing, brother? Thanks for having me on. Good evening, brothers. Good brothers. All right. So look, we're gonna continue this. Let me tell you. So just so you can believe what I'm saying, this ritual right here. This one right here is from Germany. Okay, this ritual right here is from Germany. I'm gonna share it with you. Since you may not believe me, what does it say? There you go. This ritual right here is from Germany, and I like it. I like it. It breaks down the history. It breaks down all 3 degrees, and I tell you again, I'm gonna tell you now, it is just like your Lesters, it's just like your Duncans, it is just like any Masonic ritual that you may have. Truly. Now, I will tell you this. The things that's different in here is that they're set up a little differently. You have, and if you're a Mason, you understand how your lodges are set up, right? So in Germany, it's just a little bit differently. I mean, it's more triangle than anything else. If you can kind of follow what I'm saying, it's just this ritual right here is a little bit different. And what they do is they give you a ritual for each degree over in Germany. For each degree that you have, there's a ritual for it until you become a master mason. So you get an inner apprentice ritual. We call it study guides, but it's actually an inter apprentice ritual. Then you get a fellowcraft ritual, and then you get a master mason's ritual. So you have 3 instead of the 1 that most of us receive, whether it be the Duncans, the Lester, or even the Ryans ritual. It's just a little different. They do it a little different over there, So let's see what we got. I have a couple of monitors from France. Oh, speaking of France, so in my brother-in-law is a French Mason, and myself and brother Freemasonry Unlocked talk about French Masons at one time, and they carry swords in their lodge. All of the members have swords, whatever words you want to use, tomatoes, they have them, all of them. And the way they do their raising is I like it. It's different than what we do here in the States. It is totally different than the way we do here in the States. Some of you may have seen in some of your Masonic rituals or readings to where when a brother is being raised, that they each person may have a sword pointed at that individual. I'm just saying. You may have seen that. That's how it's done there. Okay? Versus how we do it in the States. Because as I've said before, we practice what we call an Americanized type of Freeman. We do. We really do. That's what you practice here. So this ritual here, this is a Ryan's Masonic ritual. And this is a very old one. This one is from 1951. This is a 1951 Ryan's Masonic ritual. And I like it. Like I said, in reading, I find that it's just like all my other rituals. It is true. It is just like all of my other rituals. So when people go to talk to you about, we don't say the same obligation, unless they add a word, it is the same obligation. It is the same oath. From the EA to the fellowcraft to the master mason, it is the same. Now, some may add the mere fact, of adding their jurisdiction, that you would abide by all the laws, rules, and regulations of this jurisdiction. They may add that. Let's just be honest. But for the most part, it's all the same. It is truly all the same. So don't let nobody hook with you and think and lie to you talking about, oh, well, we're different. No. How do I know you to be a member? We got some questions we gotta get through. Cause you're just perpetrating a fraud. You got on jury, but you can't. You got on you're wearing the ring, but you can't really talk about the ring. You're wearing the charm around your neck, but you can't really talk about it. So I mean, how do I know how do I know you to be the individual that represents this craft? How do I know that to be happening? Oh, you're on the air. This is Hawkins. Can I help you?
Yeah, this is brother Freemasonry unlocked as usual.
Hey, well, welcome aboard, brother Freemason and Lock. You know you're always welcome to call the show. So holler back at me. Talk to me.
Yeah, so I see that tonight's episode is based on how shall I know you to be a Mason.
Yep, sure is.
All right. Now, I did an episode recently on my show, right?
Okay.
Dealing with the sign of a Mason.
All right. Brother Freemason Unlocked, tell them what's the name of your show and how to subscribe to your show, by the way.
Oh, my show is called Freemasonry Unlocked, and you just look it up and you press subscribe. You know, you hit the subscribe button.
Right.
Bell, the notification button.
Uh-huh.
And that's pretty much it. But
Okay.
I dealt with this sign of a Mason in one of my last episodes.
Right.
And the sign of if I'm speaking of Freemasons here, I'm not gonna refer this to the Conw's or eavesdroppers.
Understood.
Yeah, Masons will know. But the sign of a Mason in most jurisdictions alludes to your oath, your obligation, and the way your hands were positioned when you took the obligation.
Right.
So that gets deep. But the gist of it is that the sign by which you shall know a Mason is by the obligation.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come across an individual, if they live the obligation, which you were just talking about, you know, the various points of the obligation.
Right.
Such as, in general,
Mm-hmm.
You shall, you know, not unlawfully reveal the secrets. You shall come to the aid of another brother. There's points.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But the point is that you will know a Mason by his or her obligation. It's very esoteric also.
Right.
It goes beyond the surface of what we perceive when we first come into Freemasonry.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the sign by which you shall know a Mason is by the fact that he lives up to the obligation. And this is why when we ask the question, how should I know you to be a Mason? The answer is always by my obligation.
Right.
That's how we know a Mason. How do I know you to be a Mason? By my obligation. So that's what you have to stick to. Now, as far as you were talking about the Masonic passport, which is cool. Now, for brothers that travel to other jurisdictions out the country, they'll know that what we call traveling cards, like dues cards,
right,
that doesn't really exist outside of America.
Talk to me. Talk back to me. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't. I'm not saying that no jurisdictions outside of America don't use the traveling cards, but that's like an American invention.
Go ahead, talk to me.
In the 1800s, after this dude, what's his name? Let me figure his name out real quick. William Morgan. He published a book, and when he published that book, that caused the Masonic jurisdictions in America to try to figure out a way to prevent Cowans or fake Masons from visiting lodges.
Right.
So this was in the 1800s.
Right.
The
they call it the Morgan Affair.
Right, and the event in which the state grand lodges came together to find ways to prevent Cowans from infiltrating Masonry, that's called the Boston Convention.
Right.
It took place in Boston, Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, they came up with the idea of traveling cards or dues cards. But
right.
Outside of America, it's a rare thing.
Uh-huh.
So outside of America, when you do travel, and this is a fact, like let's say you visit France, let's say you go to any of the lodges of the Grand Orient of France, they're going to try you. You have to be tried on the sword.
Ooh, go ahead, break that down.
Yeah, you have to pass the Tyler sword.
Uh-huh.
So I can't tell the non-Masons everything about it.
I understand, bro. I understand. You got to keep some things to yourself, but I'm with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but part of it involves that you have to take an oath. Part of it involves that you have to take an oath that you are a Mason in good standing.
Uh-huh.
And that you are who you say you are. And you'll be tried like the Q&A that you mentioned.
Uh-huh. I'm getting some static. Hold on. I'm getting some static. I'm getting some static. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, but I'm getting some. Can you hear the static?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me try to do something real quick. Go ahead and finish talking. I'm going to try to do something else. Go ahead and finish talking.
Right. So when you are tried on your degree work, you have to know that. Like how should I know you to be a Mason? What makes you a Mason? Where were you made a Mason? How were you prepared to be made a Mason? It's not that complex. So when you travel outside of the country, you have to know those things. You just can't, generally speaking, pull out a dues card. That's cool too, because it provides somewhat of evidence of who you say you are. But overall, you have to be able to pass the test of the Tyler sword. And that's the key thing. And a Masonic passport is kind of good because, as you stated, it shows some written evidence, that you've been in different lodges and you've visited different lodges.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is that you are able to prove that you are who you say you are.
Correct. I don't know why I got this static in my line tonight, but I think I'm going to have to work with what I got to work with until I get it out. But yes, certainly, you're absolutely right. And I'm glad you was able to really break that down as far as outside of the country is concerned, because like I said, we practice this thing, we call it, I call it an Americanized type of Freemasonry. And Brother Michael White says the dues card came into being in 1847. Right. He mentioned that, at the Boston Convention. Yes, that was already mentioned.
I don't know the exact year, but it was in the 1800s. So
yeah,
I'm saying that because, like with my jurisdiction, we don't use dues cards. We don't. We don't use that.
Okay.
So we follow the ancient customs of Freemasonry. So you have to be. It's good, like you said, with the Masonic passport. It gives some evidence as to your Masonic record.
Right.
Oh, it's good. Like in England, like with the United Grand Lodge of England, they don't use dues cards. They use the ancient customs, and they use you producing your Masonic diploma, your certificate to state that you are a Freemason.
Man, you got to carry that, man. You got to carry that around. You might as well make that a small copy.
Yeah, but if you don't have it, though, naturally the secretary of the lodge is going to have an investigative committee investigate you.
Right.
See,
or they usually look in their books to see if your Grand Lodge is recognized by theirs. I mean,
exactly. Yeah. That's the protocol.
Right.
Right. And if they have a problem, they'll call. Like, okay, let's make sure.
Right.
But it's very simple. But the point is that you have to know the work.
Correct. You do have to know the work.
With America, the bad part is that you have a lot of individuals who they come from lodges that don't really require proficiency,
Mm-hmm.
and they just issue these dues cards.
They do. They do.
And it's like, this person is not really proficient, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So we have to refer back to the obligation. The obligation is universal, and it tells us that we shall not reveal the secrets to an individual unless the secrets of Freemasonry, unless through strict trial, through examination, or lawful information, we know them to be such.
Mm-hmm.
So we should always be in the practice of trying each other as Freemasons.
We should, but how many of us, I'm not going to say how many of us actually do it, but when we do it, do we respect the fact of how we do it? Do we pull a brother or a sister to the side and actually have the conversation? Or do we do it so boldly till we want to embarrass the next person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that should not be the case. It should just be a simple matter like the brother Malcolm Prophet. No disrespect. I've spoken to the brother, but like, what was he just saying on the live stream? He was saying, I'm not trying to diss him.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to talk to him. But he said, like, an entered priest. There's no entered priest, bro. You better make sure that whatever it is that...
I don't know what... He was talking about being initiated, and I would say this. I do know of certain orders that have what they call the priesthood a part of it. And,
okay.
And I don't.
He mentioned like the entered priest, and it's like no.
Yeah.
When you come into Masonry, it's entered apprentice.
Correct.
So you have to make sure that whatever organization that brought you in is really Masonic.
Correct.
You can't just like, what was that episode? There was a show. I forget this guy's name, man. Sinetta or whatever.
Oh yeah, Sinetta. Yeah.
And he had homeboy on the show. I know you commented in the post.
Yes, I remember the show. Yes.
Yeah, and the dude was like, he was saying he's part of some type of organization.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I didn't want to say that he wasn't a Mason, but he was saying he was out of Chicago, and the Grand Lodge he named, I don't remember that Grand Lodge being out of Chicago, and I'm pretty familiar with the ancient free and accepted Mason as far as Chicago is concerned. You know, as far as what's in our book and what Grand Lodges are in there. I'm definitely familiar with that. And his wasn't one of them. It just didn't ring a bell. Some of the things he said was pretty cool, but whether he's a Mason or not, I can't vouch for him because I don't know him like that. You know what I mean?
And also the way he was talking.
Right.
Because there are landmarks. Like you have certain characters that they put out these videos and they start going into ancient Egyptian mysteries and they start trying to talk about Freemasonry, but when they talk about it, it's like, no, man.
Right.
Yeah, like the gist of what you're saying is correct. You know, the overall idea is correct.
Uh-huh.
But no, we have landmarks. We have certain things by which we recognize each other throughout the world.
And I don't know if he was trying to bring it on board. I don't know what he was trying to bring as far as saying, hey, you know what? Trying to bring in the Egyptian rites. Now, from my own personal experience and being initiated into those type of rites, they're totally separate from what we call today Masonry. They're just separate. And the teachings are definitely different.
Right, but a lot of stuff as far as like, you know, ancient Egyptian mysteries, a lot of it refers to Freemasonry, sure, but Masonry has landmarks, bro, no matter where you go throughout the universe.
It does. And just as King Musa said, he was ancient free and accepted, the brother he's talking about, he said he was ancient free and accepted Mason. He said that he was part of John G. Jones' Lodge of Chicago. The whole thing is pro-black. Just because he's pro-black doesn't make him necessarily part of a Masonic lodge under a John G. Jones General Grand Masonic Congress. That is not necessarily so, brother. You know, like I said, the lodge that he mentioned, that he was a part of, is not one that I'm familiar with as far as the various General Grand Masonic Congresses are. You know, and I can't say that he wasn't a Mason because I haven't personally talked to him. I don't know. But for the information he was given, maybe he gave it that way on purpose. I don't know until I actually talk with him to find out. Hey, bro, why don't you say this way or do that way? Yeah, he was pro-black, but that just because he was pro-black doesn't mean anything to me. Hell, I'm pro-black. I'm not anti anything else. You know?
Right. No, yeah, you have to be on point. Like, it's like with the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali, the founder, he was a Freemason. From my studies, I'm sure he was a Freemason. Now, there are several members of that organization who think that they're Masons.
Right.
Like, I've met them. They just think that by virtue of the fact that they're Moorish Science Temple members, that they're Masons by virtue of being Moorish Science Temple members. And when I've tried these individuals, there are some Moorish Science Temple members who are Freemasons, but there are members who are not.
Right.
You try them, like, listen, how many times did you travel around the lives?
Right.
How many times did you travel around the world? You know, how old are you? I know you to be a Mason. Where were you made a Mason? These questions that are landmark questions, normally they can't answer them. And they're like, nah, bro. Either you're perpetrating a fraud or somebody misinformed you.
And more than likely he was misinformed. Or maybe he was perpetrating fraud. Also, King Musa said he used to do community service out south with John G. Jones. Just because he did community service with one of the Grand Lodges there doesn't mean anything. It only means that he was allowed to participate in the services, that they accepted him. I want to know about his jurisdiction, period.
Right.
And I don't know, so I can't necessarily say who he is or I can't say anything about the brother, be it good or bad or indifferent. I can't because I don't know. I don't want to speak about somebody I don't know nothing about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's why we ask these questions, like, you hail from.
Right.
Because if you're in a certain jurisdiction, it's going to be the business of that jurisdiction to know what.
Okay. So just to clarify, Brother King Musa said that no, he's on his own. No, he says no, he is no longer part of this. Okay, he's on his own. Okay. 1,000 years, but okay. Yeah, okay. Now, thank you, Brother King Musa. I appreciate you breaking that down for me because I was like, well, I can't call it. I can't vouch for it.
Yeah, but we always have to be firm on it.
Oh, okay. So, Brother Jackson, I'm sorry that I apologize. I'm just reading some of the comments, and Brother Jackson just posted he was Egyptian. Okay, he was Egyptian. Okay, got it. Okay, that gives me a better feel for it. I just wasn't for sure about that individual, that brother. I just wasn't for sure. So go ahead.
Yeah, so we have to be on point with that because our obligation tells us that at the same time.
Absolutely, and I'm going to share this with you. Check it out. So I don't know if you can see me or not. So you see this? This is a Prince Hall ritual. I have 3 of them. And this is from the Grand Lodge of California, PHA. And I'm going to tell you this, just like I said about the rest of them, they're all the same.
Okay.
They're all the same. So don't get it twisted. When somebody, well, my obligation said, I know what your obligation said. I have your ritual right here. Okay, and I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to do that. I know what it says. So this is the thing that we have to understand in regards to Freemasonry. It is universal. It doesn't stop here in the United States. It goes beyond that. That is how we're able to recognize Masons. Because Wherever you're at, brother, they're not going to ask you when you are seeking assistance or aid. They're not going to ask you what jurisdiction you're in. The brothers I've come across from foreign countries, they don't ask you that. And I've received emblems and pins from brothers from different places. They do not ask you what jurisdiction you're from. They don't do it. Let's have some clarity on that. You're absolutely right, Freemason Unlocked. I appreciate that. They don't do that. They go into that jurisdictional thing. We're the only somebody that do that. And I'm just trying to help you so you can understand to stop doing it. It's not something that we should be doing. You know, you want to find out if a brother's legit or not? Ask him for certain paperwork or for certain things that he should have. And then you will know, including the sisters. The sisters carry traveling cards. And if you're an Eastern Star, brothers, you should know how to Q&A a sister. Period. You should. Are you a member of the Order of the Eastern Star? And if so, let's go ahead and have this Q&A amongst us. Don't just be hitting a sister up because you know she's an Eastern Star and you're a Mason. Now you want to hit her up. No. You know, you brothers, this is why it's important, Freemasonry Unlocked, for brothers of the craft here in America to become part of the Eastern Star, so they would be able to have that conversation. Most brothers are not Eastern Stars, but when they see a sister who's an Eastern Star, they think they can just run up on her. They do. That's just what they think. But some sisters are bold enough and brave enough to get you off their ass. They be like, let's have this conversation. And then you can't have the conversation. And then they don't want to talk to you. So now you mad because this sister don't want to have a conversation with you. Oh, it's a fact. I've seen it. You know? So go ahead, brother.
Right. Yeah, so we should remember Freemasonry is a spiritual path. You have those individuals who say like, oh, Masonry is a social club. No, it's not, bro. The ritual is your main thing. Study your ritual, man. The ritual is universal.
It is.
See if your ritual tells you in any shape, form, or fashion that Freemasonry is not spiritual.
It is. But I'm gonna go back to something Brother Jackson said. Brother Christopher Jackson said that if he ever catch a brother with a sister hemmed up in a corner Q&A, it's gonna be some difference. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Freemason Unlocked, but I'm just laughing at some of the comments. Brother Jackson said, it's going to get different. It's going to get different if I catch a man with a sister in a corner quizzing her. No, Brother Jackson, I'm not saying he should take her to a corner and quiz her. I'm saying that if he's an Eastern Star and she's an Eastern Star, he should be able to have the conversation with her. That's all I'm saying, brother. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go ahead, brother. Freemason Unlocked.
Yeah, because again, it's a spiritual brotherhood. So, with the topic tonight, the subject. How shall I know you to be a Mason? Let's go to the ritual. There are only a couple of questions that deal with that.
Right.
One being, how shall I know you to be a Mason? As you stated earlier, by signs, words, and tokens.
Right.
And in each degree, the answer is a little bit different. But in general, the answer is, I shall know you to be a Mason by signs, words, and tokens.
Right.
The signs have spiritual meaning. Right?
They do.
Exoterically, there's certain bodily gestures that we do to recognize each other. The words, we know what the words deal with, and we know what the tokens deal with. Those are our grips.
Right.
So the grips even have a spiritual meaning. Everything is deep, is spiritual, it's esoteric. So we have those aspects. And
but see, everyone can't grab that esoteric side of Freemasonry. They only like that. They're only the toppings. But see, they're not willing to go deep. There's only a few Masons that I've come across that is able to go deep and to really kind of break that thing down. Too many people take it and man, it's like they can't get there. They just can't get there.
Right, but again, Masonry itself, the rituals, that's up to them if they don't get it. Because the rituals tell us very clearly what Freemasonry is. In the first degree, in the second degree, and in the third degree. So there's no missing it. There's no missing it. You know, if we're coming to lodge and we're attending lodge and we're sitting in meetings and we're doing the work, you can't miss it. If you see an Enter the Apprentice ritual many times, if you see a fellow craft ritual many times in your Masonic career, you can't miss it. The language is too clear. There's no way that you can miss it. So, besides the question that asks us, you know, how should I know you to be a Mason? We also have the question of what makes you a Mason.
Right.
Your obligation.
Correct.
Even if you don't get too deep into it, your obligation makes you a Mason. So what is your obligation?
Correct.
That's how you can recognize another Mason.
Right. And
if
that's...
the individual is not living up to that obligation, what does that tell you?
Absolutely.
Is he a Mason?
But that's the beauty of Freemasonry. So I got Brother Jackson that's going to be calling in just a couple of minutes. So you got anything you want to wrap this up on your end so I can have Brother Jackson and give a call in? I appreciate it.
Yeah, all I would say to the viewers, to the brothers, is the study of ritual work, man. Study of Freemasonry and know that Masonry teaches us that you need to develop your spiritual eye, man. You need to have your third eye open to be able to see the signs, hear the words, and feel the grip.
There you go.
That's all, bro. With that, I send peace to everybody and to the most worshipful John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California. To my brother Tony Hawkins, peace. Thanks for letting me talk.
Hey, bro, like I said, you always, to me, you, Brother Jackson, and a few others, you always have an open line to the show. No doubt about it. So I appreciate you. So, Brother Christopher Jackson, if you're able to hear me, this line is now open. I appreciate it if you want to call in. Thank you, Brother Unlock. Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Peace. So that was Brother Unlock right there. And Brother Jackson, the line is now open. If you want to call in, I certainly appreciate it. That number is 619-286-0642. We're about to get it on tonight. How do I know you to be a member of this great fraternal order of the Eastern Star and Freemason? Go right ahead, Brother Jackson. Hello. Greetings. How's it going there, bro?
I'm good.
You good? You good? Go ahead and talk to me.
I was just, I saw the text. You asked me about if I wanted to call in. I've been, first and foremost, rise and give praise to the God that I serve. His name is not important as long as I call him.
That's right.
Greetings to everyone on the page. I heard a few things that I won't say are incorrect. I'll just say some brothers are misinformed.
Okay.
I'm an old Moor, 1996 when I proclaimed my nationality.
You say you're old Moor, 1996?
I'm an old Moor.
Okay.
I proclaimed my nationality in 1996. I was direct communication.
Okay.
They Washington Hill, and at the time, the Grand Sheik moderator of Moor Science Symbol of America was Brother Allah Hill.
All right.
From the Moor Science Temple, there were a lot of different splinter groups, different people with different heads. Brother R. German Bay out of
right.
There are a lot of different things that can be attributed to what could be considered Mason. But the Illuminati were Mason. Adam Weishaupt was a Mason who was expelled. He was given a Masonic death. And he took what he knew of the order and created what they call Illuminati.
Oh, okay.
Which is the enlightened one.
Okay.
These things, this is documentation. There's a book, there's a little pamphlet called Let There Be Light. It speaks about Captain William Morgan. It speaks about the Papal Bull.
Yeah. I got that. Yeah.
Where it was illegal to be a Mason to be a Catholic, etc.
Right.
And so, but what I wanted to say was the oldest minister in the Nation of Islam was Lucius Bey at one time, and he was all of those years. Elijah Muhammad used to attend
Okay.
affairs in the streets because it causes confusion.
Okay.
Because people think that you are this, that, and the other. I don't carry my nationality of Jackson Bay into my name because that puts you in a box.
Okay.
I'm not a practicing member of the Moore Science Temple anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still familiar with the teachings. You know, I've studied from 1,000,001 people, and I ate the fish and spit the bones out. But in dealing with this order, Masonry is what it is to different people.
Right.
Like what in the Circle 7 it speaks about, you know, man's God today, tomorrow is not God. You know, he may be a soldier to you. He may be soft to you.
Uh-huh.
But he is different things to different people.
Right.
But let's be clear about what a Mason is. I've always said that a Mason is one who has a conduct. It's a behavior.
Uh-huh.
Supposed to be good men to be made better men. We have all of the particulars. We have all of the drill and drama, all of the things that are written down about what they are.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who we've thought were Masons, but were not because they were never initiated. But their conduct showed them to be such.
Right. Exactly.
Always been a private, secret organization. But because of the insecurity that a lot of black men have,
Mm-hmm.
they need to let everyone know that they are something because it's something that their frailty, fault, and failure has within them. You know, it's just like when we have all of this competition, you know, well, who's better? Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Different eras, different rules, different times, different mindsets. And it's all about the mindset. What are you doing since you've made your initiation, since you've gotten your 3rd degree?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing as the man? Who are you helping? Are you doing any service? Are you helping any widows, orphans, etc., etc.?
Uh-huh.
All of the people who have passed away in your lodges? Did you shovel any snow? Did you go by and check on them? Have you fed them? Have you done any of these things? Or are you just on the team?
Right.
If you're not playing in the game, then you're just on the team. You've heard me say before, how many of you can be accused of being a Mason or an Eastern Star?
Mm-hmm.
And there be sufficient enough evidence to convict you of such?
Right.
Or is it mistaken identity? You ain't
Woo!
thought
You said mistaken identity.
mistaken identity. You ain't really who we thought you were.
Right.
We went on this man hunt. We've driven 27 miles. We got you cornered. Come on out of there, Luke. They got us. Come out. Ain't even you.
Right. Right.
So, we spend a lot of time trying to find someone who was this, that, and the other. You know, sometimes I read the threads, I make comment, or I just read what's being spoken on.
Uh-huh.
I'm not concerned with who the page and isn't in the order.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what a cowan or an eavesdropper really is. A cowan or an eavesdropper is someone who's trying to get some of the principles and orders that we have and use them for his personal game as an imposter.
Mm.
That's what a cowan and eavesdropper is.
But you know what? We have, I hear what you're saying, but we have some of them in the fraternal order itself.
Well, that's true. Because, see, where it goes wrong, I've often said, when you pass out petitions to EAs or to candidates,
Mm-hmm.
you're not doing any waiting with patience, and you're not doing any strict trial and due examination.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go down to their churches or wherever the hall of learning that they have and ask who they are. You're not going on their blocks and their neighborhoods and asking about the character of this dude. So you bring in some raggedy old dude in there trying to skin your wife, skin your woman, do whatever, trying to tear off all the systems. You got all kinds of people up in there. You knew she was a rat when you saw her, but you still brought her in there. Now you're looking up and she got a reputation in the whole lodge. She'd have slept with half the whole Grand Lodge.
Woo!
The issue up in there.
Mm.
Because you knew she wasn't no good when you gave her the petition. If you don't see at least 3 of the heroines in her, why are you even talking to her? I say this in business. If I can't look at you, trust you, want to go into business with you, and I can trust you around my wife, why am I bringing you into the order?
That's right. That's right.
See, we don't That ain't never been what that is, because you don't study diligently enough to find out what the terms are. How do I know you to be such? By your perfect point of entrance. That means you coming in on right angles, horizontals, or perpendiculars. Not just rolling up in there any kind of way. That's how you walk anywhere. This is discipline. That's why you learn that and polish it up with that perfect ashlar as a knight templar. That's about order. We call this a masonic order. How is it order and you don't have any discipline? Can't nobody even tell you nothing. You talk to somebody and he getting all upset. Well, like I always say, when you prove to me that you are a man, how is it that you have such ease in doing that, but you can't take ease in instruction? We get into the order and we start thinking that it's the worshipful baptism, that you don't learn nothing, or the leader's fault. It says, seek this from the cradle to the grave. So why you waiting on me to tell you something? You're a hoarder.
Okay, so I want to say this to Brother Lewis. I was gonna say something in regards to a post that he made, but I inadvertently. No, Brother Lewis. He had posted something, but I inadvertently deleted his post. And my apologies to you. I just want him to know that up front right now, that I was going to say something in regards to a post that he posted, but I end up deleting his post, and I want him to know it wasn't done purposely, but it was a slip of the thumb, brother. I just want you to know that. That's Brother Lewis. All right, you can go ahead. I just wanted him to know that.
Okay. But see, this is an ongoing thing, and we want to take things back to Imhotep and everybody back in Egypt. I got that. We know that the European took our lifestyle, our culture, and he wanted to say, well, if we don't recognize you, then you ain't who you say you are. See, this is where the failure comes in with Prince Hall and England. Because, see, they've taken what he was trying to do and now saying, well, white man don't say you all right, then you ain't all right. That's where it goes wrong. See, we keep, and I've always said this to you, we keep looking for this unity and this unification. If God didn't say that, who the hell are any of us to say that's what it's supposed to be?
Well, I'm going. Well, brother, I'm going to say this right now.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. Because I know that's a catalyst of something that you want to do. But you have to understand what I'm speaking on. I've never seen KFC and churches trying to unify.
Right.
In McDonald's and Burger King trying to unify. It says that we seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. There are many nations and tribes, tongues, that ye may know one another. That's all that it's designed to be. It's about mutual respect. What we're truly supposed to be doing is when we do the amity and the treaty and respecting what one's doing and or doing for the order, for the betterment of the order. All of this trying to make one body and all this other stuff, it can't happen. It won't ever happen because you can't have that mindset changed from the Negro right now. See, it's a free slave right now. He got to have his name on the front of the door. Don't want to just have access in there. See, a lot of people need seats. They need to have their name on the door. They need to be in leadership because they're not leaders at home. You can't have somebody who's sorry at home and bring him into the order and expect him to thrive. You can't have that. See, all of this love and brotherhood, sisterhood, hugs and grips, and all of this other stuff that we do until it's election time, that's hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. That goes on all the time. I understand. I don't have a problem with anything that anybody's doing anywhere in the world. I greeted you. I hugged you. I shook your hand. But because I don't walk like you, now you want to defame me or have some slander to say about me. You're out of pocket. And that's what people do all the time. I assure you, you ain't letting nobody know that you've been Masonic intercourse with other people that are not Prince Hall. So let's not play those games, because you know you will be expelled. I don't care who coming to visit, who's sitting up in your club, none of that. You're not dialoguing with people who's not Prince Hall, and that's the bottom line of that. You and I can talk to anybody. We've always done that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. You always bring up the issue about when I gave you the apron. Your word is all you got. See, I always give a man true trust. You ain't got to earn no trust, earn no respect from me.
Right.
You get it in the door. When
Mm-hmm.
you grew up is when you got to earn it. See, we don't know how to be stewards because you've never watched, you've never had anybody do anything for you for free. You've never done anything for free. That's why being a steward is a problem. It seems like it's respectful for a man to want to be a steward, but you never knew the power of a steward. You never knew the real leadership of a steward, or even who a Tyler was. You don't just put anybody as a Tyler. The Tyler is something you give to an elder past master. That's because he knows everybody coming into the lodge. You late for a meeting, he knocks on the door. You dress how he is. You don't just show up to Tyler sitting inside because you want to hear what's going on. What's the first great care? We always missing that because we start innovating, man. And innovations in this order is what has us right now in the disarray that we're in now. It's no longer what it used to be. It's no longer the Lord that it has. So now we have to, I get that there are females in the order, and a lot of us have never practiced this because the females did this over in the East, this, that, and the other. Yeah, they were around. But according to what you studied and what you know, the female doesn't do that because she can't prove this, that, and the other. But it's a lot of things that the female has done. It's not about whether it's being accepted or female means she can't be a minister and all that. The female was the first understanding of God you ever had. So that's a lie. And that's in Scripture. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So even in the Nation of Islam, when they spoke about being bit by a snake, you take the same venom to heal the man who was bit. You take the same irregularity practices that you see in these scriptural books, and you heal the people who have been led astray. Led astray.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you a Mason? Your obligation. Okay. How do I know you to be such? Certain signs, a token, a word, a purpose points to my interest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You showed me a sign. That told me that you knew something, but I still don't know you. I still don't know who you are. How do I know you? By a strict trial and a due examination. Because hell, I can get online and find out what I want to know. So you have certain catechisms, and you have certain things that you ask a man. All that means is that he knew something.
Right.
But when we get done, because what people miss, I can have a dog put a ball into a basketball hoop.
Oh, bro, you got some of the craziest. You can have a dog and put him in a basket. You can have a dog to put a ball in the basketball hoop.
We've seen it before.
Oh yeah.
We've seen it before. You know, so none of that means anything. No one cares about what you memorize. Oh man, that dude, he can open up the large from 1 to 33. That ain't impressive to anybody. He ain't been don't nobody in society knowing.
Mm-hmm.
He's a legend. It's almost like watching Shawshank. Remember when the old man got out? Hung himself, couldn't even last in society, but he was a legend in the penitentiary.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. This brother just posted. He said, "Your rhetoric is good, but it is a distraction from the real secrets of Freemasonry." So let me say this here.
Who is that? When I hear rhetoric, all I hear is someone who's seeking. Rhetoric is a term that goes on the line when I hear the word mutt in reference to a dog.
So
You know,
I'm going to say this, Brother Jackson, in regards to the real secrets of Freemasonry.
there are no secrets. I'm gonna let you finish, but there are no secrets.
I'm going to say this. There are secrets, Brother Jackson, and we're going to speak offline about it, okay?
A secret is something that you have never told anyone.
That's true, Brother Jackson. I'm going to agree with you, but
The only secret
go ahead.
The only secret that
True.
13 of them.
But Brother Jackson, after I log off, you and I are going to talk, and then I'm going to tell you what I think as far as secrets are concerned, versus what others may see as secrets in Freemasonry. You hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
Oh, okay. You got quiet on me, but
you know where you and I stand.
oh, hell yeah, I do. Shit, that's just real.
I'm not concerned with how any individual feels about anything that I say, because see, I told you, when you're circumcised to keep your organ clean. That's the purpose of your circumcision, to keep your penis clean. But when your heart ain't circumcised, you still ain't got nothing philosophy in it.
Ooh.
So your comments come that way.
So
you don't have to. Go ahead.
No. That brother that said that, I'm going to invite him to call. I want you to call in, Alex, Alex Fitzgerald. I want you to call in 619-985-1184. Call that number, Brother Alex, and I want to hear why you say what you say. You know, because we can say whatever we want. You know, posting is good. You know how people like to post, Brother Jackson. You know how they get on there. They like da-da-da-da. I want this discussion to carry on, because, you know, people can say a whole lot when they're behind a computer. But I want to hear what he has to say.
Who is he in his lodge?
I have no idea who is he in his lodge. That's Alex Fitzgerald.
He heard me say it, so he can type it.
Okay.
Who is in his lodge?
All right. He might type it. You know, I don't see him typing it right now.
If he just lip boxing, that ain't impressive to me. That is.
That's why I told him, hey, yeah. I will leave my line open, which is 619-985-1184, if he really wants to get down. If he doesn't, I'll let it be. I just let him continue to type, you know, post whatever he's going to post. Go ahead there, Brother Jackson.
You know, so it's you know, we have to, we get caught up in trying to figure out who can do the furthest picking, you know, who can write their name in the snow the furthest. None of that's impressive. I care nothing about what somebody has studied.
Uh-huh.
I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what you're doing in this order.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got a lot of people who are on Facebook and social media and these private phone calls and got a whole lot to say, but ain't nowhere in their lodge.
Ooh.
Nowhere.
It is what it is.
Lodge. They're in witness protection in the lodge.
Uh-huh.
Ain't say nothing. They look for popularity, not for proficiency. Because see, if you can't open up a lot, if you can't teach a man what the esotericness is,
right,
he comes into the lodge, or teach a sister what the esotericness is when she comes in the chapter, and why she does certain things, why she walks that labyrinth a certain way,
uh-huh,
why he does all these different things, then you handcuff in the lodge.
Uh-huh.
You handcuff him. You just made him go through something. You send him through this gauntlet of initiation, and he don't know nothing.
Right.
He knows nothing. That's why the numbers are small. That's why you're talking about you a lodge and ain't but 6 of them. And you holding on, well, you know, in ancient time. Well, that was an ancient time. Because of what but a handful. You ain't nothing to me if you ain't building your lodge every 90 days.
Correct.
Because your leadership shows through your walk.
Mm-hmm.
Who's looking at you saying, man, whatever it is that got you glowing like that, I want that. John C. Maxwell calls it the law of attraction. Because see, who you are is how you are. So now all of a sudden, you've never had a conversation with me ever. You just hear me sitting in the heat that I do on the phone, and now I'm rhetoric. You sound like one of these crackers out here.
Ooh.
Rhetoric. Man, please, I speak all over this country, and I'm recognized in this planet.
Now, I have to agree. Now, Brother Jackson, I want to say I do happen to agree with that part. I do. I really do.
I don't get into that. I and you know that.
Right.
Get into that. Listen, I don't need brass or to shine. I ain't never need no brass or to shine.
Right.
You know, y'all don't need none of that. My anointing comes when I walk in the room because I got favor on me. I keep a gift under my arm. And most times when people got brand new Jordans on, people like them. They're like, man, them shoes are tight. But when you got them and they clean too long, people get mad at them. Who do you think he is? Got his shoes all clean. But wait a minute, you liked them when they came out, but now 5 years later and they still looking good. Now you mad at me. It's called larceny, man.
So tell me this here, Brother Jackson. Is one person posted, he said that any member who joined a Masonic group knowing the true nature of Freemasonry and its secrets and carries out the rituals in his need is to do so is a KAFIR, CARF, who should be asked to report. So I think he's talking in regards to the Muslim, any Muslim who joined Freemasonry. I know a lot of Muslim brothers who are Freemasons.
A lot of people, they take their understanding of what the Quran says about secrets. I'm going to say it again. You can't have a whole different rite of Egyptian masonry that I belong to and in this country and saying that he's not legal. Because, see, King Fard was a brother. Talking of Saudi Arabia, the Israeli prime minister is a brother. See, all of these things, sometimes when you ask these white men, when you get on Google, some of these things you can just pull up online.
Right.
But when you talk to people, see, when I got people coming over here from Romania, Italy, France, Chile, and all these other countries, Bulgaria, and we sitting down and talking, and they brothers, and they Masons, and we taking pictures and this, that, and other. Can't nobody who ain't never been off the south side of their block tell me about what this order is.
But see, Jackson, Brother Jackson, I keep telling people, Masonry is bigger than where you at. You and I both know that. And when you
they call themselves traveling men.
And what you just said is a pure fact of the matter. Because you and I have both sat in company with these brothers from those jurisdictions, from foreign countries who were Grand Masters and Grand Lodge officers of their particular jurisdictions in that country. We know that. And this is the sad part that I know that I come across when brother says this and that. Look, I have sit in lodge with these brothers. I know what they say. I've heard them speak. I have pictures with them. This is how I know them to be a brother. And that's the uniqueness of Freemasonry.
Yeah.
You know, when people say, well, you ain't this. I'm like, damn, I was just sitting with the Grand Master from Chile. I was just talking with the brother from Romania. Huh?
Remember when I told you, see, there were 40 years of isolation in Romania. And a lot of history was lost, a lot of things are gone. You know, there isn't any proof that Romania even chartered John G. Jones.
Right.
But there's also other documentation because I have actual letters and correspondence that John G. Jones gave to different countries about a lot of things, which is one of the reasons why he even left Prince Hall. See, they don't even know that his name was Indignation. That was his nickname.
Yeah, his nickname was Indignation. That's right.
Jones. And so he was a firecracker. And there were a lot of things that were going on. You know, people stand on this with military lodges. Those were illegal. See, I have the actual minutes of 1717. I have all of the protocols and the particulars of when African Grand Lodge was trying to petition to be in the Grand Lodge of the East until the ratification and unification of GLE accepted them.
Mm-hmm.
But see, a lot of that never happened. Scotland refused them, but this ain't about that. This ain't about legal. What you doing while you're in there? That's all I want to know. What are you doing while you're in there? While you calling yourself a Mason?
Uh-huh.
Everybody everybody on the page who's over 40, you're eligible to be the president of the United States. But if you can't get the 270 electoral votes, you can't play on the team. Because you wear them Jordans and that Bulls gear, that Lakers gear, whatever you got on, that don't mean you're eligible to play on the team.
Right.
You don't meet the requirement. So, like a brother said, everybody ain't a brother. Just because you pass the initiation don't make you my brother.
Woo!
What makes you my brother is your strict trial and your examination. See, a soldier never knows his strength without a foe. That's why when you cooking and you putting all that stuff in that pot roast, you've heard me say this before, when you got that pot and you got all them fruits, all them herbs, spices, and vegetables and meats in there, you can't smell it until enough heat gets on it.
And see, that's the thing. That's the, Brother Jackson, that's the thing right there that excites me in regards to being a Mason. People talk all the rhetoric, people talk all the noise, but when the heat get on you,
they fold. It says that in the Quran. You know, people who talk about they Muslims until they get crucified, and then they deny. Like a lot of y'all, when you tuck your chain in, when you're going into a club or you walking somewhere because you're scared somebody gonna say something to you.
yeah, they do. They do it all the time.
That's the dogs are like that. You know, animals are naturally scared of people, but animals only come at you when you show weakness. That's why they dog barking at you, because you're a coward.
That's it. I mean, they do bark. I mean, let's just keep it real. And the ideal is that when a person identifies themselves as a Mason, you know, what do you do with that? Because I will tell you this.
I watch him.
I watch him.
The same way your son gonna watch you. The same way a woman's son gonna watch you with his mama.
Right.
If you're not right, he gonna speak up. His action's gonna be there.
And that's why I say, as a person who's looking to become a Mason or an Eastern Star, and if you know an Eastern Star or a Mason, watch them before you ask them.
But it tells you that, brother.
Huh?
It tells you that. It tells you that. It tells you that all the time. Visit lodges. Visit and watch and see what's going on. If a lodge is putting on a function, sit back and watch their behavior.
Absolutely.
When they're in recess, are they out there getting drunk and in excess? Where's the junior ward? Is he handling that? Do the people respect the junior ward?
Right.
I'm grown. Oh, no, I got 33 degrees. You can't tell me nothing.
I hear that shit all, excuse me, I hear that stuff all the time. You know, I'm a this and I'm a that.
But it cares about how many degrees you got.
Right.
Well, everything honorary. And okay, why you keep going up? If it's all the same, why you keep going up? Because you think you're missing something. Because you think that if you got more degrees, then you're going to be this, that, and the other. This is I'll say it forever. See, I don't need to say nothing different when I call in. Because sometimes it's like a comedian. You go all over the country and say the same jokes for 2 years. Because somebody ain't never heard it.
Right.
I don't know. I hear how I help and I aid and I'm an asset to people. I hear that. To me, that's God. I don't take none of that for granted. I don't take it for granted when grandmasters call me and ask me what I think. Because my masonic knowledge outruns my resume. I know how people feel about me, but it's just like scripture. You're always hated at home, but loved abroad. You know, it feels good when people I've never met tell me, man, I heard you on Tony Muhammad show, man, and I like what you said, you know, you helped me do this, that. I appreciate it, brother. That's all I was trying to do. Did it not say what Jesus does? What I do, all men should be able to do. All he wanted to do was just help somebody. This order's about esoteric, man, not nothing about exoteric. Like the brother said, it's a lot of spiritual in this.
It is. But everybody's not able to tap that, though. Everybody's not able to break that down and get into that part. And that's the sad thing about it. Everybody's not able to grab that and look at it and say, well, damn.
Because you spend more time on your knees naked than you do in prayer. prayer.
Uh-huh.
That's why you miss this. You don't have a hall of worship. You don't have a hall of learning that you can say, my God is what my foundation is in here. See, the building is just a building. That ain't, the church is within you.
Mm-hmm.
The mosque is within you. The synagogue is within you.
Right.
All of these things are within you. See, there's a difference between a brother, a companion, a knight, a noble. There's a difference in all of those.
Hey, I have a question for you, Brother Jackson.
What you say?
Okay, I have a question for you. So a brother called in the other night. I was doing a show. He called in the other night. He said this. He said that in Chicago, and I need you to verify this because I know you. He said that in Chicago, ancient free and accepted Masons are more relevant than PHA when it comes to when it comes to being active, when it comes to being Masons, when it comes to being involved. I just need some clarification because that's what the brother said.
Well, I can only verify what he's saying based upon what he's involved in.
Okay.
I see Prince Hall in parade. I see Prince Hall do a lot of different things. I see, Prince Hall is involved in a lot of different political people and doing different things, but it all depends on what you're looking for. Yeah, we got a whole road. That's a block long on the expressway. They call it Tent City because the homeless live there. Masons give to them all the time. And we do a whole lot of work. Wherever they're from, okay, that's where they're from. We have a thing called Illinois Association of Grand Lodges. So we have a lot of Grand Lodges in Illinois who came with empathy to one another. If they're doing something, we all go support. It's just that simple. Not, they ain't with us. We ain't fooling with them. See, well, that takes too much time, man.
Uh-huh.
You ain't from 79th Street, so, I don't fool with you.
Right.
This street don't even belong to you. This order don't even belong to you. That's why I said there's no Masonic police.
Right.
That's what I meant when I said it's going to get different for you coming up quizzing me. Well, I had a man do that. I just want to know your passion. So when you finish holding my hand, whispering in my ear, and got your pelvis all up on me in the 5 point, we done.
Oh my God. Oh, Brother Jackson. Oh my goodness, bro. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
Okay.
What are we doing now?
Right.
See, when I speak at different Grand Lodges and I ask certain things, don't tell me about how much you love Tony Muhammad. Okay, well, Tony Collins been Raggedy 7 years. Y'all ain't bought him a new one yet?
Whoo! Talk to
You ain't
me.
bought him a new apron yet?
Yeah, right.
You spend more money drinking than you do trying to show love for the elders up in the lodge. The elders don't want to get out the seat because you young boys ain't showing up for 50. You're not showing any respect. Hey, listen, man, you've been in this 50 years. I ain't finna buy you no little funky ass $10 pen. The whole lodge, we finna spend this money on this plaque so you can look at this when you go home and show everybody how we appreciated you.
Right.
We don't do that. We don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You just want the seat because, like I said before, they're going to bless you with a little money when it's time to go to convention. Or at the end of the year, let's give them something out the check, out the treasury.
Uh-huh.
Well, what? How many of you would really do this if it was free? This stuff ain't impressive. Man, listen, man, let me tell you something, homie. Let me tell you something. Because, see, I have no issues with this. I was in a dark place at one time. You see what I'm saying?
Go for
I
it.
wasn't on no narcotics. I was in a dark place.
Right.
I've been to the school of hard knocks. I studied all this mess before there was ever a YouTube, when it was on paper, circling around in the penitentiary. See, all of this stuff, Malachi, all of this stuff, all of this, when I had all of that stuff, I knew about all of this stuff years ago. I'm talking about before some of these cats were even born.
Right.
Now they done got a little YouTube and a little video. They read something. Now they running with it. KRS-One. Yeah, it makes them consider me a 33rd degree master.
I don't know where that's come from. I don't know how KR. I'm not even touch that one right now.
But see, when you in the order, you can leave that. So your proficiency gets poor, and you listen to the YouTubers. I see brothers all on the TV, limelight and all the rest of it. Now the Moors got a tactic to speak on, and they want to speak on, when we did, when we were here. Sure, yeah, all the black men in all of those pictures were Moors. All over this world. I deny that none. But I keep saying to you, the principles and character of a Mason, we always had those in how we lived. There was a Mason who told a white man to come this way. We've always known the world was round. You thought it was flat.
Okay, so check this out. So this brother, Alex Fitzgerald, said that Freemasonry protects the mind from ignorance, tyranny, and fantasm. This is for you, brother, who wants to learn. But see, I want to say this. What he said is absolutely true. But you don't get that information until you become a 32nd degree. That's a fact. Now, you may say what you want to say, Brother Alex, but the information you just gave is not relevant until you get to the 32nd degree. Now, if you're a 32nd degree Masonry, you understand why one have the blindfold on along with the scales in his hands. And then he's told that. He's asked the question, what are we fighting against? And the answer is what you just stated. So let's have a clear understanding on what you're saying there, Brother Alex. Now, what we're saying here is, how does a brother recognize, or how do you know that person to be a member? In other words, how do you know that brother to be a member of the Order of the Eastern Star or a Mason? How do you know that person to be such?
You have two ways. You have two ways. You have a esoteric way.
Right.
You have the exoteric way. See, the exoteric way is I can show you a card that shows you that I pay my money. It don't mean I come to my meeting. It shows you that I pay my money. It don't mean that I add anything to the order.
Right.
It shows you that I paid my money. It doesn't show you that I speak anywhere. See, a Mason to me, one who has attained degrees or not, is one who is ready to be called on like Moses and speak clear and with understanding about what he's obtained in that order. He can talk about the first, the second degree, the third degree, if that's all he got. I don't care how far he got, whatever he got. He's just passing out white hats like they tickling because you popular and you can pay for it. You can walk around with your chest out like a peacock. Yeah, I'm a district deputy. I'm a grand this. I'm a this, that, and the other. Okay, well, I'm a past master. Okay, well, how many worshipful masters have you raised since you've been a past master? How many master masons have you raised since you've been a past master? How many people have you brought in? When people look at you and you say that you're a leader, all of you out here who are listening, even Brother Alex, because I'll say this to you. This is my chief petty officer first grade moment. If you say you're a leader and you make a call to your brothers and they show up and don't ask you what it's about and they follow you, you are such. But if you can't call nobody at any hour and they all show, you just out taking a walk.
Ooh.
That's all you're doing. See, when you say that you're somebody, it shows in your character. It shows in your speech, not shitting on a man because you don't like him saying something that drew the crowd. I don't need no applause. I stand alone because I'm confident in anything that I say. I can speak from the book because I know what I'm saying. That's why I don't look to the side to get approval from somebody older than me. Especially when elders are asking me, what do I think? Because my mind thinks differently. I'm a free black man. That's what you used to call me. I'm a free black man.
You know what? In my cell phone, I'm going to tell you, in my cell phone, I have you listed as Freeman Jackson. I've never known you other than that.
Free black man. You've always called me that for years. Free black man. Like I said before. See, remember when I told you, when you came to Chicago, when I met you online,
right?
You told me, this is 2013, I met you online.
Yep.
And you told me what you wanted to do. I said, hold on. My people started that wall. I'll get you who you need to talk to, and I'll get you some pictures, and you make this thing happen.
You did.
Put my name up because I didn't
Yep.
I don't need my name out there. Mason moves in silence.
Mm-hmm.
He moves in silence. You let your conduct show who you are. That's how that's supposed to go. But
Yeah.
I need recognition. I did this. I did that. I did this. I'm the chairman. I'm the co-chairman. I'm the advisor. I'm this, that. How so? Because you're the leader?
Right, right,
You can't raise no money to get your rent paid. How the hell you on this lodge trying to raise money?
right.
You out here hollering, you living your best life, and you're 2 months behind.
Ooh.
Stop playing with me.
I had to lean back in my chair when you said that.
When people don't know, they sit up and there's a difference between being called and being gifted. See, when you call, that's called favor. That's favor, man. And a lot of people don't like favor. I just told you about that gift. It's called a spiritual gift. Let me sprinkle a little Bible on it. When you got spiritual gifts, things happen for you.
Right.
People come to you. Who I am is who I attract. I don't do mediocrity. I don't do clearance rack. I've been glass case all my life. I just didn't realize it. And glass case don't have a price tag on it. If you don't know what glass case is, that's when you go to them stores, you're always asking, how much is it?
You know what? When I walk into a store like that, I don't even say nothing. When I don't see tags on things, I don't even ask. Because one or two things. Either I can't one is that more than likely I can't afford it if I'm asking how much it costs. And the second thing is I don't need to be in that damn store. Now, let's move on.
You know what, bro?
What's that?
Out of all of this stuff that I've said, much of it didn't have anything to do with no ritual, no degrees, none of that. It's common life.
Uh-huh.
It is a beautiful system of morality, veiled in allegory and illustrated by its symbols. A lot of you wearing collars and don't even know the meaning of the collar itself, which speaks on the regality and the regalness of you as a king coming from the east. That's why you really miss that Solomon and that Sheba with that crown and the collar on, and the collar on with as a man. You missed that part.
I'm going to say this. One brother posted, Masons should be seen and not heard.
That's right.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with that. And I'm going to tell you why. As a man who's...
I know what he means, but go ahead. I know what he means. He didn't elaborate on it, but I know what he means.
He didn't elaborate on it. That's why...
Yeah, I know what he means.
Oh, okay.
When he means seen and not heard, he's talking about the actions and the duties that we do. We don't have to look for gratification for it.
Okay, I can agree with that.
A sister outside of the street or a brother, whether he's a Mason or not, and you stop and you help him with his automobile or flat or whatever, and you're going about your way. You didn't pull over because, oh, hell, I can make $20 here fixing this flat.
Okay. I was about to go somewhere with that. I'm not going to lie. I was about to go somewhere with that, but I appreciate you breaking that down. I'm going to leave it where it's at.
And if I spoke wrong, then hopefully the brother will clarify. But I think I knew what he meant when he said that. Now, if he meant something else, then okay, it was what it was. But that was my understanding of what it means to be seen and not heard.
Yeah, because when he said that Masons should be seen and not heard, that's all I got. That's what I read. So in response to that, I was going to disagree with that. But the way you brought it, I'm like, okay, but I'll be cool. I won't comment on that because I understand the way you broke it. I'll leave it where it's at.
You see, one thing that we can't do, brothers, is allow other people to make the narrative of what they say we are. I used to see a sign in front of this church all the time that says, people can always tell you what you're not supposed to do in church.
Mm-hmm.
They never can tell you what you're supposed to do. And I always just say, people can always tell you what you're supposed to do in the order. I mean, not supposed to do in the order. They can't tell you what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Why does everybody show up to the party, but you can't show up for the charity work?
Right.
Why everybody show up? You show up at the bar. You're spending $20, $30, $40 round for everybody. But you can't take care of some business to help the lodge.
Absolutely.
It bothers me when all you let come out of your mouth is go see the secretary or finance, and your members in there witness protection and their knowledge.
He said then witness. He said, he said then witness protection. Oh, ooh. You know what really gets me in this whole thing as we identify ourselves as Masons to one another is the fact that we sometimes, I'm not going to put everybody in a box, but occasionally you will find Masons who are not able to respect the other person regardless of their jurisdictions. The mere fact that we're able to have conversations and to move forward and say, look, first of all, we are black men, and I'm pro-black and I'm not anti anything else, so let's have an understanding. I'm saying clearly this: when we are trying to do something or make moves or to build or to help uplift another black man, and being a Mason should exemplify all of that.
Yep. Because
it should.
They don't say that, the John G. Jones guys out there in California, they don't say what Tony Muhammad is not doing. They speak on the whole lot. Man, the Masons were down there doing this. The Masons did that. They don't talk about the individual. See, we are a brand. And what you wear on your chest, your hand, your belt buckle, your hat, you represent a brand. And how you carry yourself. People are like, oh, he wanted all? Let me watch him. Oh, hell, all he's doing is this. All he want to do is that. They talk about.
That's it. That's truth. That's truth right there.
When you don't carry it a certain way, you false flag it, man.
And wait a minute, Brother Jackson. That goes for the sisters too now.
Well, a reason why I don't say the sisters is because she comes from my rib. Anytime I'm talking about me, I'm talking about her.
Okay, all right. Anytime you say, okay, I got a better understanding now. Anytime you talk about them sisters, you're talking about yourself. Okay, you're talking about the totality of the whole person.
She's adopted. Most people miss that. Adopted, you fall under the jurisdiction of the family anyway. I don't need to single you out.
That's true. That's true. That is certainly true. So look, Brother Jackson, we've been on here about for an hour and 49 minutes right now. I just want to say, brother, as always, you and Brother Unlock, you guys have the open phone line. You can call in anytime. And I appreciate the mere fact that I reached out to you and you responded. I want to say thank you. You know how I feel.
I'm at the cigar bar getting my chill on. And when I have to look at my phone, and I saw you had sent a message, so I don't turn you away. You call me, want me to add something. So I just try to do that. That's all.
Hey, I have a question. Are you gonna be in Miami?
What'd you say?
Are you going to be in Miami?
No, I don't know anything about Miami.
Okay.
I'm going to be in Buffalo for our Congress in August.
In August? What time in August?
Going to Miami. I didn't think the information was in August. But I got some things that's looking up for me. I'll be exonerated and be a ghost soon, because I'm bodyguard. So I got some things looking up for me. I got people behind me.
So look, my vacation ends August 10th, 2000.
I gotta ask your wife. Don't even tell me. I gotta ask your wife. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Okay, so let me say this here. My wife and I vacation ends August the 10th. So if you're in Baltimore after that, I can't do it. But if you're in Baltimore before that,
go to South Beach. You're gonna get cut if you go to South Beach. Don't go to Miami.
I'm just trying to figure out where you're gonna be at. That's between me and you. But you gotta let me know.
Well, listen. I got a couple of dollars. I know how to get on Southwest.
Okay, all right then. We good.
Yeah, I can come see you.
All right. So look, I don't have anything else to add tonight. It's been a great show. I loved it. and I appreciate the mere fact that we have broken down some things. And some people may say, well, what did you break down? The mere fact that we're able to have an understanding in regards to how do we recognize each other. Are you a member of the order? I mean, the whole thing. How do I know you to be a member? The whole thing, the essence of it is the same across all genders. All the whole thing is the same.
I don't care nothing about what you wearing. That don't make you special.
It doesn't. Like I said, I've shown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've shown seven rituals tonight. I have posted 7 rituals. 2 belonging to mainstream Grand Lodges of State. 1 belonging to Prince Hall. 1 belonging to 1 belonging to Germany. I posted Ronan. I posted Duncan's. I've talked about Lester Look to the East. I've even talked about Hammer Ty, who's here in California in regards to their own ritual. And let me tell you, like I said before, it's 98%. It's all the same.
Right. Most
So-
things have changed. Most things have changed for the personal recognition, because that was part of the reason why Prince Hall had compiled their own. Even with the Congress that we have, we compiled the ritual to where we have unification in the study.
Right.
Speech. So it's not. There are a lot of things that they're not in the rituals that used to be, et cetera, et cetera. Very few people know what yellow jacket and blue breeches are and who wore it, et cetera, et cetera. So these are old ancient terms. People talk that AM stuff, but they practice F and AM.
Say that.
So you really don't. You're not. You're not. I don't say it to be down on people, but that's your own weakness if that's what you take. It's about getting to what does this allude to. Keep filtering what it is that you study, because there's something else behind it. There's something more. There's something more. So if you can take it all the way back to MOTF, okay. What was MOTF? What was MOTF's charter? Well, he didn't have a charter. Okay, well, we'll talk about the laws of Ma'at. Right, that's when we got the 10 Commandments, et cetera, et cetera. All right, well, we know all of these things. We know about the dollar bills and all of these other things that are going on. But since you know this, is your chest puffed out because you know some history that somebody that you read, or that J.A. Rogers got you, or Stolen Legacy got you, or whatever, wherever you got it from? Don't talk to me about Egypt until you put some of that real sand between your toes, because you're just repeating something that heard from somebody.
And I'm going to say this. I know the brother said, I'm reading comments, this brother, New Era King, he said that he was kidding. He said, this is a beatdown PHA channel. And I know he said, laughing out loud, I'm just kidding, brother Muhammad, which is cool. But I'm going to let him know. Look, this channel right here, I've always said, this is an open channel. This channel is not in regards to anybody. This channel is in regards to Freemasonry, period. So if anybody want to call in and have the conversation, we can do that. This is not a beat down. I know he said he was kidding and everything.
And
that's cool.
I don't do that. I don't do that. I got to, like I said, the next, I think this is her year, from Jay-Z Enterprise. This is Andrew Prince, getting ready to be Grand Matron. She's a very close friend of mine. I got a lot of brothers all over Prince Hall. I love anybody. If you say something cockeyed out your mouth, then I'm going to let you have it. I don't care nothing about what you're trying to prove, this, that, and other. There's a lot of questions and things that people can speak on and this, that, and other. But it ain't about that. No, you're not going to close my car off and come out and, grab some and take some from me. That's when a felony going to pop off. There is no Masonic police.
Mm-hmm.
If you know how to keep protection is for the police. If you know how to defend what you're doing, not your emblem, defend what you're doing. You got a compass and square on your neck or your hand. Do you circumscribe and keep within due bounds? Do you square your actions? Do you have sincerity and plain dealing with people? No, because you live in style. You don't have sincerity and plain dealing with people.
Mm-hmm.
You have cock with Brother Jackson, and they ain't even say hello. But I say that all the time. I always say greetings to everyone.
That's true.
But I can't even get it in return. I got to have somebody talking reckless to me about me having rhetoric. Man, kill yourself.
You said, man, kill yourself. Boy, you crazy. I like that though, but you crazy. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and turn it off tonight. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and especially those who called in, such as Freemasonry Unlocked. And I definitely want to send a big shout out to my man, Freeman Jackson, Christopher Jackson of St. John's Grand Lodge of Chicago, Illinois, the original. And I'm going to say this here, that mother lodge that we often talk about in regards to John G. Jones. And I know that
a whole lot of these Grand Lodges out here.
Say what now?
A whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of them started out here. And if you'd be surprised at the people who have a lot to say, they don't make us bigger or better. It ain't even about, pay homage. You got to pay respect to your it ain't even about all of that, man. Pay it in. What you doing? That's all. You in here now. What you doing? You the police now. All right. You the police out in the street. What you doing? You just out here locking people up because you used to get robbed when you was a kid? Or you out there trying to make a difference?
Ooh, wow. This brother posted right here. He said, at King Musa, it is better to be an ass in silence than to open your mouth and remove all of doubt or confusion. Ooh, brother.
That phrase applies to a whole lot of things. We've said it on a lot of different things.
It does.
It's better to be thought of fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. You're right. It is. It is. But as I say all the time, my square is not 12 inches. I took my foundation a long way, and I can take all 720 degrees from Melchizedek to all the way to from Michael to Melchizedek.
Hey,
he was a priest, and he could take from spirit man, flesh divine to spirit man, just like Jesus did.
I'm gonna say this. There is a brother that I seen that had a M instead of a G in his compass and square, which meant Melchizedek. We're gonna have to talk more about that one, Brother Jackson.
Yeah, that's Morse right.
Is that the Morse right?
Yes, that's the Morse right.
He was talking Melchizedek, and you're gonna have to enlighten me on something.
The Melchizedek was the high priest that had 720 degrees. He had 360 physical, 360 spiritual.
Oh, okay.
In the Bible, he's Michael in the beginning, and he's Melchizedek in the end.
Oh.
See, the Bible speaks about Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. That's what they speak about in the Morse Science Temple. So the stages of wickedness. It talks about Lucifer at the beginning. It talks about the beast at the end. Those are stages. That's why it talks about revelation, bringing things to light. We have a beginning and then we have an end. Yes, a lot of books written, but what you have to work with, deal with it as such. It's just stages. What are you doing with the stages? The Bible is a scripture about story, accounts that people have. The Bible is the Christian version of what hadith is. You take stories and accounts of what a lot of the companions of the prophet told and what they saw. And so you try to emulate what it is. Your job is to try to emulate King Solomon. What does Solomon mean? It's 3 different names in 3 different languages of God.
See, that's going to be the next one right there. King, what does the name Solomon mean? We're going to have to break that one down. 3 different names, which comes to God?
Yeah. Sol is what? Son. And An. Solomon. Like when he speaks about he will not be able to buy or sell unless he has the mark of the beast or the name in his hand. You seeing that in Scripture?
Right.
Well, what is it? Visa card.
Bruh, we're gonna have to leave that one for another. We're gonna have to leave that one for the next show.
Well, just let me leave it for them so they can have something to chew on.
Oh yeah.
If they think I'm lying, is VI not the number for 6? F is also a numerical number for 6, and so is A. Just look up the language of what it is. 666.
See, I broke that down as neutrons. Let me see. Shit. Excuse my language, but I was looking at it from a melanated point of view. I can't even think of it right now. 6 neutrons, 6 protons, 6. I can't.
Electrons, yeah.
There you go, right there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's gonna be the next one. 666. That's gonna be the next one right there, bro. And you know what? It's gonna be me and you. Next show that I do, I'm gonna see today is what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The next show is gonna be Wednesday. It's gonna be on 666.
Okay.
You think we can break that shit? Oh, excuse me. You think we can break that down?
It's possible because I might be out on doing some quality time on that day.
Oh, so you want to move it?
I mean, we can move because I don't know if I'm gonna be on tour, so but I'll so if you want to deal with it and I catch you online with don't try to hold me up with it. There's a whole lot of brothers on here with a lot of good rhetoric, so they can speak on it.
Well, we will certainly do that. But as always, Brother Jackson, Freemason Unlocked, I appreciate you guys coming in and definitely giving me some heartbeat tonight.
Everybody that came in, I appreciate everybody that tuned in, everybody who received something. And if you didn't receive it, give it time. God ain't through with you yet.
Lewis said I had some liquor in my glass. I'm drinking Coca-Cola.
I know what he mean. He's sipping that tea.
Ain't nothing wrong with sipping tea, brother. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Brother Jackson, you know me, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it right there. So tonight we're going to tune off, man. I'm like just happy. You know what I mean? So until we see each other again, Brother Jackson, I'll be seeing you. You got to send me the information. Make sure I get it. So we're going to go ahead and log off. But I appreciate everybody coming in. The next show is going to be about 666. Oh, my.
All right, bro.
All right, then, Brother Jackson. I appreciate you. All right, late. That was Brother Jackson, and I appreciate Brother Freemason Unlocked. So we're going to go ahead and log it off tonight. Brother Lewis said I had something in my glass, and I'm telling him, Coca-Cola. Have a Coke and a smile. So until we meet each other, much love to everybody who came on tonight. I appreciate you. I greet you. And look, whatever you do, always put God first, and always keep your light on and stay out them bushes. All right, I'm out. Have a good one now. Late.